Welcome to the Hamilton Naturalists Club. Our purpose with this presentation is to provide some information about the club and to let you know about club activities and volunteer opportunities. If we're going to throw around words like naturalist, we should probably define what we're talking about. A naturalist is a person who specializes in natural history, especially in the study of plants and animals in their natural surroundings. Now, specializes makes it sound very official, but what this definition doesn't mention is that naturalists have a passion for nature. They may do any number of things in their day jobs, but they love nature so much that they join a club and spend much of their free time being in nature, studying nature, speaking publicly in defense of nature, and sharing their passion with others. So if any or all of this sounds like who you are or who you want to be, you're in the right place. What you need to know about the Hamilton Naturalists Club is that everything that the club does and what it has accomplished over the years has been because of volunteers. This is a truly volunteer-run organization, from the board of directors to the webmaster to tree planting and fundraising. The HNC has one part-time employee, the Land Trust Coordinator, who accomplishes a phenomenal amount, but everything that she does is also supported and enhanced by volunteers. Volunteers are key to what the HNC is all about, which is why we're so glad that you're watching this. This club has a long and illustrious history. It was established in 1919 as the Hamilton Bird Protection Society and has been going strong for almost 100 years. Early initiatives included forming junior Audubon clubs and petitioning to protect bird habitat. This picture is of the Barton Reservoir, which the club successfully petitioned to establish as a bird sanctuary in 1920. You're probably also familiar with Coote's Paradise, which was declared a game reserve in 1927, due in large part to the efforts of the Bird Protection Society. The focus of the club has broadened over the years, and the Hamilton Bird Protection Society became the Hamilton Naturalists Club in the 1940s. You can see how the goals of the club have changed over the past 95 years to encompass all of nature in addition to birds and their habitat. But be assured that the passion for birds and birding is still a strong and integral part of the club and its activities. So let's take a look at the club's current goals and what the club does to meet them. The HNC's first goal is to encourage the conservation of natural resources and environmental protection. The HNC started purchasing land in 1961 with Spooky Hollow and has continued to establish sanctuaries in the Hamilton area ever since. In 2005, the Head of the Lake Land Trust was established. The club owns land in and around the city of Hamilton, and the HNC has a stewardship agreement with the city at Jackie Washington Park in Hamilton's North End, where naturalization projects have been going on for several years. Now, what is a nature sanctuary, you ask? Well, a nature sanctuary is a piece of land managed for conservation. So that means that all human intervention on the land is for the purpose of preserving, protecting, or reintroducing native species. Volunteers help take care of the nature sanctuaries by being members of the sanctuary committee, taking part in work parties, planting trees, maintaining trails, helping with construction projects, and doing invasive species control, like pulling garlic mustard. Another aspect of encouraging conservation is advocacy. Over the years, the club has been a strong voice in local conservation and land use planning issues affecting the community, including opposing further infill of Hamilton Harbor and most recently supporting the urban woodlot bylaw. Research and monitoring to gather data that informs advocacy and public policy has also been an important part of what the HNC does. While the club has been able to access funding over the years to hire professionals to assist in specific projects, volunteers have always played an important role in research and monitoring activities as well. For example, in 2014, volunteers were out on the streets of Westdale to help with trees count, an inventory of all public and private trees in the neighborhood that will indicate changes since the last trees count inventory in 2003. Volunteers have played key roles in projects such as raising and releasing bald eagles in the 1980s and Falcon Watch. The Falcon Watch project was started in 1995 to monitor nesting falcons on the south face of the Sheraton Hotel in downtown Hamilton. The Falcon Cam was installed in 1998 and continues to provide a live feed of the nesting falcons on the Falcon Watch website. Every summer, volunteers track the movements of the chicks as they make their first flights. They're ready to summon the help of the on-street rescue team of more volunteers for any chick that came to ground without the strength to take off again. More than 40 chicks have been raised and fledged during this project with the support and dedication of Falcon Watch volunteers. The HNC's second goal is to promote the enjoyment of nature and environmental appreciation and conservation. The club does this by holding frequent field events like hikes, doing monthly meetings with speakers on a variety of topics, the HNC website and Facebook page, and participation in community events. All of these activities, from planning and leading hikes to recruiting speakers for meetings, are done or supported by volunteers. The many birders active in the club take great pleasure in sharing their passion for birds and preservation of bird habitat through meetings of the bird study group and participating in birding events like the annual Christmas bird count. Promoting the enjoyment of nature and environmental appreciation and conservation, as well as profiling the great work of the club and its members, has been the job of the Wood Duck, the club's monthly journal and newsletter, since it was started as the Bulletin by a group of junior birders in the 1930s. This long-standing publication continues to be the work of volunteers who do writing, photography, copy editing, layout, and mailing. And last but not least, the third goal of the HNC is to foster public interest and education in the appreciation and study of nature. This is where the Land Trust Coordinator does much of her work. For example, in 2015, the Pollinators Paradise Project, in partnership with Environment Hamilton, improved pollinator habitat across the city by planting pollinators' favorite plants in strategic areas and monitoring their success. The Land Trust Coordinator also organizes education and eco-art programs for inner-city kids at nature sanctuaries and in the classroom as well. These programs are sometimes the first opportunity kids have to experience nature outside of the city. Some very talented volunteers work closely with the Land Trust Coordinator on education programs, while still more HNC volunteers teach grade 4s about the food chain with Osprey Survivor, a super fun game at the Hamilton Children's Water Festival every spring. So now you know a little bit about the HNC, its history, and the kind of work that we do, and the many roles that volunteers play. You might be wondering how you can get involved. Well, there's many ways you can contribute as a volunteer, episodically, weekly, monthly, or on an ongoing basis. Depending on the needs of the club at any given time, we may be recruiting for all kinds of roles, from work party participants to event planners to fund developers. The good news is that it's easy to find out what opportunities are available with the club and to sign up online. You can access our volunteer database from the HNC website at hamiltonnature.org, and there you can create a profile to indicate what kinds of roles and activities you're interested in and sign up for opportunities as they arise. So please get in touch to find out more about getting involved as a volunteer with the HNC. You can find us on the web at hamiltonnature.org and on Facebook as a Hamilton Naturalist Club. You can also get in touch with Kimberly Fowler, the Director of Volunteers, or Jen Baker, our Land Trust Coordinator. Thanks so much for listening today, and I hope we'll see you out soon.